uh, I'm just dying to get this because something kind of cool happened. There's still two games in progress with about 10 minutes left in them each. So what we're going to do is we're going to get through the games from tonight, and then we're going to go preview tomorrow. So I got those all set, ready to go, and then come back. And if those games are final by then, we'll mark them down. We'll just mark them down. So hey, everybody, the coolest day in the world is here. The very first postseason game was played tonight, and that's only half of what I'm so excited about. And this is all on tape. You can go back and verify it. We had Fairleigh Dickinson hosting Central Connecticut in the first kind of a play-in round for the Northeast Conference tournament. This is the first postseason game of the year. And we had Central Connecticut on the road pulling up an upset, kind of, and beating Fairleigh Dickinson by 70-69. It's even a money line play. Well, how did this game turn out? Let's go take a look. FDU. Well, look at that. Central Connecticut beat Fairleigh Dickinson by 1 point. How awesome is this? I saw this and I just leaped out of my skin. 67-66. So it's a money line. But I'm not even excited about that. Let's get through this. So it's a money line, and we do our typical money line thing here. And then money line. We get to break in our very first game on, so we're getting rid of this. These are all regular season games, and you can see why. I mean, we're above 500, but that you're not making money when you're sitting at 500. There's no sense in listening to me if I'm only going to be 500. Well, I have a feeling I'm not going to be 500 after we get done with the postseason. So if I got all this set up, 1-0, we're 100% right. We even have a money line. This is just set up for the postseason. So we're still playing some regular season games for another week, and then everything after that's going to be postseason. And the reason I'm so excited is because this goes away because I don't do anything about home court advantage, and it shows. I mean, home court advantage is just absolutely real, and it's kicking my butt, and I can't wait till there's no more home court advantage, and we're upon it right now. I got to do something real quick. Something I forgot to do here. I do this every night before we go live, and I just forgot to do it. I just copy and paste and make room for the next night. Copy and paste. And then I go get and maybe I relabel this. And I go get these from over here, and I put it over here. And a couple other things I'm going to do, and I'll just put those off. I'll get to those. But that's the most important thing because we're going to use these here in a minute. Okay. So let's get through the rest of the string here. But I just wanted to bask in the glow here for just a little bit because that is really cool. And like I said, it's all on tape. Go look at the previous tape, and there was no line, but we still had the predicted score up. And then when the line opened up, I didn't have time to do a re-record, but that is the same score I had there. So we just made the play according to the line. So very proud of that. 1-0 and starts off with a money line. Okay, Hofstra hosting Charleston. Vegas says 5.5. We say only by 3. And final score was 89-84. And look at that. That half point saved us. And it's a win. That is a win. Okay, North Carolina hosting Syracuse. The line's 7.5. We say it's only a 4-point game, and we took Syracuse, the dog. And now I got to go find them because I'm all out of sorts. 88 to 79. 88 to 79 was the final, and that is what, a 9-point victory. That is all a 9, and that's a loss. So we're going to take that one as a loss and move forward. Fordham hosting UMass, 2.5's the line. We say Fordham by 2 only, and Fordham beat them pretty badly, 85-73. So that's a loss. So we're 2-2 so far. And note, I didn't put the money line. I got it over here. I didn't put it over here because it's a postseason game, not a regular season game. Okay. Coppin State hosting Delaware State, 10.5's the line. We say 13. And Coppin beat them 80-67. So that's a win and cover. And so we go 3-2. Okay, Norfolk State hosting North Carolina Central. I was a little nervous about this one because North Carolina Central's they've had some decent games. But they're on the road at Norfolk, and 8's the line. We say 9. So Norfolk was our play, and final score was Norfolk State 75-46. So 75-46. That's a win. It's a win and a cover. Howard hosting South Carolina State, 10.5's the line. We say 11. Howard was our play, and Howard wins 72-62. So right at 10, and that half point gets us. So that's a loss. I'm sure going to be glad when it's not, win, lose. Just go 50%. This seemed improbable to me, but Iowa has some great numbers. And they are at home, and they're in the Big Ten, so they already preordained the Hawkeyes to win this game. It's almost how it seems. Iowa hosting Northwestern, 10.5's the line. We say 15. Final score here. Iowa smoked them 82-61. Just beat the pants off of them. So that's a win. I got a money line here. Maryland Eastern Shore at Morgan State, 3.5's the line. And we say Maryland Eastern Shore wins. And I hate to break the news to me, but they didn't. Because as I detailed in the past, I kind of got a crush on Maryland Eastern Shore because they used to be so bad. And now they're actually not as bad. But tonight was bad, 48-82. Good Lord. That's awful. Oh, we had him as a money line winner. Yikes. Texas Southern hosting Alcorn State. This is a SWAC, and the SWAC is just brutally unkind to the old scores are here. We say 6.5, and what happened here? And Alcorn won the game. And that's just how life in this. So Texas Southern is probably the best team in the SWAC. And Alcorn State, if they have 8 wins, I'd be shocked. So Alcorn travels to Texas Southern and beats them. That is how the SWAC. That's just right there is perfect. That's how the SWAC is. It's just completely unpredictable. For SWAC, we got Grambling and Bethune-Cookman, and Grambling laying 7.5, which is outrageous to even conceive. But we are playing Bethune-Cookman, who is in the lower third of the old scores, our rankings. And Bethune-Cookman wins the game. It's just you just cannot tell from night to night what the hell is going to happen in the SWAC. It is just unpredictable. It's the most unpredictable conference that there is. I struggle with some others, but not like I do with the SWAC. Baylor at Texas, laying 1.5. We say Baylor by 6, and final score just saw it. What happened? Where'd it go? Baylor 68-61. Wow, look at that. Look at the predicted score. Look at that, off by 1 point, got that top line number, and then just missed the bottom line. So, wow, that's a pretty good pick. Would it be too much to get a money line on the first postseason game and a golden pick? Yeah, we're just one free throw away there. Southern U hosting Florida A&M, another SWAC game. So you just put it down as a red right now. Southern U, the line is 9.5. We say 13. I guarantee you. I just guarantee you Southern U did not win. Okay, 58-49. Oh, jeez, 58-49. They won by 9. You rotten bastards in the SWAC, man, I swear. Backside cover for FAMU, and it's just to torment me. And now this is adorable, okay? Another SWAC game, and I've gone a step further, and I'm saying it's a money line. How cute is that? Jackson, so Prairie View A&M hosting Jackson State 3.5. We say Jackson State wins the game. And you know what? This is just so crazy. It might just work. And it did. Jackson State won 59-53. Improbable. Okay, so that's a money line of the regular season type. And so we're going to have to, we do these manually, these money lines. And we'll just have to annotate this manually on the regular season one, where we have 165. These are off because I got to run a string. So we're 5-5 right now, and I'll update that in a moment. Texas Tech hosting K-State, 12.5 line. I knew this was too many points. It's too many points. I mean, Texas Tech is good, but you know, I mean, so the final score 73-68. Yeah, 5-point victory. No way did they get to 12. And that was a sucker bet. You know, the dog was a play from the jump. We go 4-1, the money line. Okay, these two are final and these two are not. So let's get through these. We're going to jump over and do the predictions for tomorrow night. San Diego State at Wyoming Lane, 1.5. We agree. We say 5, but we like Wyoming and we like them a lot. But San Diego State's a borderline monster program, 73-66. Yeah, 73-66, San Diego State. So that's a win. Fresno hosting New Mexico. Vegas is 10.5. We say 14. Fresno's our play. And Fresno wins by 3, 71-68. And that's a loss. Just get a little update on these two final games before we go look at the predictions for tomorrow. 7 minutes left. UCLA 57-46 over Washington, 57-46. So that's looking pretty good. Washington State. I'm going to try something. Do y'all see this? Can you see this? You can. So when I disappear, that's where I go. I go to CBS Sports. There's a new little tab that says share this instead. Yeah, I hit it, and that's what happened. So here's the information here. So Oregon State winning 79-76. That does not bode well. Let's share this tab instead. How quick does that happen? Yeah, that is quick. I like that. I got a new little toy I'm going to play with. So that's not boding well for us. But these games are still going. So let's go look at tomorrow nights. There's not too many games. So we get through this kind of quick. And you can see we've got some tournament games starting. I'm going to try my best to keep them all labeled, and pretty soon they're all going to be tournaments. So, and what a delightful time of the year! Just it's tournament. You know, spring is cool, but I prefer to think of it as tournament season. that's the greatest. That's the greatest part of the year is tournament season. I'm a diehard Dayton Flyer fan, I guess, because man, they're at Richmond, and Richmond's laying 1.5. Richmond is really good too, but but Dayton just refuses to go away. They're in every game. They're in your face, scrapping the unit. I like that. So Vegas says 1.5. We say Dayton wins the game, and so it's a money line. So we're playing the money line opportunity there. Man, Providence getting just all kinds of disrespected. Villanova hosting Providence. The line's at 8.5. Even the scores our computers calling BS on that. We say 8, taking Providence. Providence is good, man. I know Villanova is top 5 good, but Providence, they're really good too. All right, Tennessee is a monster. Georgia is really good in football, at least this year. 15.5 is the line, so this is Tennessee on the road, putting a beat down on Georgia. We think they win and cover, so Tennessee's our play. Akron at Ball State. I don't trust Akron. I really don't trust Akron, but Ball State is probably just as untrustworthy. Vegas says Akron on the road, laying 3.5. We say 9. Akron's our play. I wouldn't be surprised if Akron scores 12 points and just calls it a night because they have a history of that. At home, even. They did it at home to the worst team in the Mid-America. This one, kind of calling my shot here. Here's the problem. Holy Cross was terrible. They went like 0-18 to start the year, but then they got pretty good and was competitive. But the old numbers carry forward. American U is just awful from day one till now. They're just awful. But they end up with better numbers because Holy Cross was so bad at the beginning. So unless they both revert back to their former selves, I don't hold out a lot of hope in this one. I think Holy Cross are at home. I think they're going to win the game. But the computer has American U at Holy Cross, getting 2.5, money line play. There's just so much riding on it for me emotionally because it's a tournament game. Man. Well, I didn't think Central Connecticut would be Fairleigh Dickinson either, so that was a pleasant surprise. UMBC hosting Binghamton, 6.5 the line. We say 6. I don't like this play. UMBC's got a lot better numbers than Binghamton, and they're at home. And that's not too many points, but the computer's saying it's just a bridge too far. Vegas. Lafayette hosting Bucknell, 5.5 the line. We think it's a 3-point. So what we're saying here is Lafayette will win the game and advance in the tournament, but not by 5.5. We're playing the dog Bucknell, but we don't think Bucknell we think Bucknell will lose. Okay. So kind of a busy situation right there. And same thing here. Kennesaw State hosting Eastern Kentucky, laying 4.5. We think Eastern Kentucky is going to play a pretty tough one game. And we say Kennesaw survives and advances. That's just one of my most favorite sayings, survive and advance. Hartford at Albany, getting 2.5. Hartford wins the game. So it's a money line play. And it's just the thinnest of margins between these two. Just this could go either way, this game. But we like Hartford in this one. So we're playing the money line. Miami of Ohio at Central Michigan, 2.5 the line. We think Miami of Ohio just drubs them by 11. So Miami of Ohio is our play. Kentucky hosting Ole Miss. We all know how good Kentucky is. Ole Miss is sort of middle of the road SEC team going into Kentucky. 16.5 the line. We think that the Wildcats will exceed that. So that's our play. We're playing Kentucky here. South Carolina hosting Missouri, 6.5 the line. We think it's a 9-point win. We take South Carolina. This is the Atlantic Sun Conference is what I'm trying to say here. But if I typed out Atlantic Sun tournament, it would end up over here. So Florida Gulf Coast hosting North Alabama, 10.5 the line. We think it's a 14-point victory for Florida Gulf Coast, and that's who we're taking. Ohio State hosting Nebraska. So Nebraska put a beat down on Penn State at Penn State. Just last night, both these teams will be playing. No, I guess it is two days apart. I don't know if Nebraska has it in them to go to Ohio State and beat up the poor little Buckeyes there, but we got stung by them last night. We don't think it's going to happen twice. I think Ohio State wins and covers here. UMass Lowell. I say it because I can't say Lowell. So they're hereby this day henceforth Lowell. It's got a French sound to it. Anyways, they're hosting New Hampshire, laying 3.5. We think New Hampshire wins the game, so it's a money line. We shade them in green. So anytime you have the underdog win in the game, it's a money line, and you win more than you do a conventional play. If it hits, it has to hit. And we've got 165 that hit. Let's see if there's a line on this. There wasn't a line when I was doing these. So let me go, let's share this tab. Let's look at, it says today, but it's really tomorrow. And see if Stony Brook, if there's a line yet. Oh, come on. Man, you make the smallest error. And no line still. What's going on, man? Why is there no line here? Yeah, I don't like that. So no line. So I'll just have to check it in the morning. Oh, let's go back. Let's share this tab now. There we go. This is fun. I like it. So no line. We'll just see what happens. We got Stony Brook at home to NJIT laying 9. And we'll see what the line says, and then we'll make a pick. Ohio at Bowling Green. Bowling Green has just decided to it's lights out for them, man. They have just called the end of the season. They're halfway packed up and turned in their unit. They're done. There's not much hope for them. Anyways, Ohio is a good team. Laying 7.5. We think Ohio wins by 15. That's our play. The Bobcats. That's who Ohio is. And I put the predicted score in the wrong spot here. I get so excited. So we're just going to delete these. And Google Docs makes it so hard to do the simplest things. Youngstown State hosting Robert Morris. This is the Horizon League. Game 1. Vegas says 6.5. We think it's a 10-point victory. So we have Youngstown winning this game. And back to the Atlantic Sun tournament. And this one, a little controversial. So Central Arkansas is hosting Stetson. I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe they got one more conference win than Stetson does, but they're not good. And Stetson has shown signs of being, decent, but their numbers are awful. Anyway, Central Arkansas home laying 1.5. I think this is an easy call. In fact, the computer system wins by 6. So it's a money line. And I like this play a lot. So that's our play. We're taking the Hatters of Stetson. Manhattan hosting St. Peter's and getting 2.5. We think St. Peter's wins by 8. So that's our call here, St. Peter's. Another money line. Buffalo hosting Toledo, and Toledo's getting 2.5. We think Toledo wins by 6. So money line opportunity here that we have the underdog winning the game, and so that's a money line play. Vermont is really good, and Maine is really bad. And Vermont travels to Maine, and Vegas says 19.5. We think it's a 32-point win for Vermont, killing that 19.5. So easy call here. Just based on that, Vermont's the play. Vermont has just sailed through the American East. No one is within 1.5 miles of them. They're just really good. Detroit hosting Green Bay Horizon League tournament. 9.5's the line. We say 10, but I think Detroit's really going to beat them by more than that. So I'm pretty comfortable with this call. So we're taking Detroit here. Eastern Michigan hosting Western Michigan, 4.5's the line. We say 5. Eastern Michigan's the play. Oklahoma hosting, Okay, Oklahoma hosting West Virginia, and I did it again. I can fix this right now because they haven't tipped yet. Laying 5.5. We say 3. West Virginia is our play. So let's see if I can find it. Yep, I can. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to copy and paste this underdog play here. And go back up and fix this because we should have West Virginia as our play. And now we do. So we think it's a 3-point game. And so we're taking the Mountaineers there. Duke on the road at Pittsburgh, laying 13.5. And we think it's going to be worse than that. So we're taking Duke. Okay, back in the Horizon League tournament, these next 2 games are Illinois, Chicago at Milwaukee. They're the better. Illinois, UIC is the way better team. And even Vegas finally had to succumb. It's just too much to overcome. So they have the away team laying the points as they should be. So we agree with this. We say Vegas is 2.5. We say 6, but UIC or Illinois, Chicago, that's our play. Oakland is a really good team. They stumbled a little bit, but I think they're back on track. This, folks, is the worst team in the men's Division I college, IUPUI. No idea what it stands for. I actually think it's Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana. It's something stupid like that. But they belong, I think, Division II, they would not be good in. Maybe Division 17, maybe. They're just not good. They're really bad. So Oakland is going to show up, and I think they're going to try to even things. I think they're going to play blindfolded, and they still went by 21. All right, enough digs at poor little IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue. I'm going to end up looking this up if I don't move on. Kansas on the road at TCU, laying 5.5. Yeah. As good as TCU is, we think Kansas. I think they have a little something to prove after who did they play? It was Baylor. Baylor beat them pretty badly at home. I think KU has something to prove. That's a really good team. That's a top 10 team. Is it going to be by 12? Well, we think it's going to be by more than 5.5. So that's our play. But TCU is really, really good, and they're at home. Kent State on the road at Northern Illinois, 8.5 the line. We say 16. Kent State's the play. Okay, back into the Atlantic Sun tournament. Lipscomb hosting North Florida, 2.5 the line. We think it's only going to be a 1-point game. So we're taking the dog here, but we think Lipscomb will win the game. The only outcome that could possibly work for us to play is this exactly, or a 2-point victory. We still that's it. Well, I guess North Florida could win the game, but then we have Lipscomb moving on. So the postseason sort of changes a lot of things. So Vegas is getting a little lazy or something. Florida on the road at Vanderbilt. It's a pick 'em all year long, man. I've done every damn game all year long. There's been just a handful of pick 'ems. And on Sunday, there was 3. And now tonight, there's another one. Well, they change the odds makers around and get a guy that just goes, yeah, I don't know. We think Florida on the road at Vanderbilt prevails and by 4. So in the pick-em, we're taking Florida. Okay, this is a strictly by the numbers play. Michigan State traveling to Michigan, getting 4.5. We think Michigan State wins. So it's the Big Ten. So the home team is automatically declared winner before the tip-off. Practically, I guess I need to put that practically in there. And I don't know that Michigan State has anything to gain. Maybe improve their seeding in the tournament. I don't know. I don't know the situation there. But this is strictly by the numbers. Okay, we're not taking home court advantage. Not taking, who's got the hotter cheerleaders. None of that stuff. It's just the numbers is all we're looking at here. Put me down for Michigan. St. Bonaventure on the road at VCU. getting 3.5. It's hard to see St. Bonaventure getting 3.5, but VCU does have the better numbers. However, we don't think it's going to be a 3.5 point victory for VCU unless St. Bonaventure just lays down. But they haven't done it all year. We think it'll be a 1 point win and a VCU and a squeaker. And we're taking the dog here at St. Bonaventure. Okay, I hope Houston just absolutely thoroughly punishes Cincinnati just for letting me down, I don't know, a dozen times this year. I really believed in Cincinnati, and then, they just tail end of the season, they're just like not showing up to games or something. And Houston is out of this world. Houston is fantastic. I mean, they're just incredibly good. And so the line's 14.5. So Vegas starting to catch on to Houston. And we say it's 19. What Houston did to SMU last night or the night before was pretty impressive. SMU's a good team. And Houston beat them by a ton. So we like this play. We're going to take Houston to win and cover. Virginia Tech hosting Louisville. And if you went and looked at Louisville's numbers, they're not spectacular. I think they fired their coach midway through the season. That doesn't help. But Virginia Tech laying 10.5. We think it's 13. Vodtech home court, so way better team than Louisville. A borderline monster right here, baby monster. Boise State hosting Nevada, 10.5 the line. We say 14. Boise State's a strong play there. Well, remember Big Ten, so the home team is automatically, declared the winner. I know that joke's getting old, but it's so true. But then you got Purdue coming to town, and Vegas says 2.5. They're going to go to Madison and beat them, according to Vegas, by 2.5. And we say, when we top you there, we think it's going to be by 10. So Purdue is the overwhelming choice here to beat Wisconsin at home. And Purdue's numbers are fantastic, man. It's a really good team. Hey, speaking of fantastic numbers, here's a couple of teams that don't have them. Air Force hosting San Jose State. So Vegas thinks it's going to be a 5.5 point victory for Air Force. And I'm thinking, huh? Really? It's a 1 point victory. We're taking the dog, San Jose State. UC Santa Barbara hosting Cal State Northridge, 14.5 the line. We say 19. So UCSB, the Gauchos, they're the play here. Arizona at USC, laying 4.5. We think it'll be a 7 point victory for Arizona. And I'm kind of surprised because we have both. We have USC, maybe misslotted, but I think they're in the top 10 still. Let's just go take a look on Scoresar. They're not on Ken Pomeroy. Yeah, we have number 11. I think Pomeroy's got him like 18 or something like that. We have Arizona number 3. I think he's got Arizona number 2. You know what? With our new toy, KenPom.com. Share this tab instead. Sure. So we're Ken Pomeroy's site. And Gonzaga, Kentucky, Baylor, Arizona. He's got him 4th. Just kind of curious. Duke, 5th. Yeah, we're not Duke apologists here. He's got Houston 6th. We've got Houston 4th, number 4. Kansas, Auburn, UCLA, Tennessee, Texas Tech, Villanova, Purdue, Iowa. We are right in line with Pomeroy. If we're not same, we're 1 or 2 off. I see St. Mary's. He's moved them up quite a bit. Where do I have St. Mary's? I'll share this tab instead. St. Mary's. I got him number 23. He's got him 16. So we're pretty close. 2 different ways of skinning a cat. I'm not quite certain I fully understand what all of this means. The adjusted EM. Adjusted efficiency margin. Okay, efficiency margin. I get this adjusted offense adjusted. I don't know what it gets adjusted by though. Why not just take what the real offense was? Why do you get to adjust this stuff? Strength of schedule rating, and it was efficiency margin. Okay, yeah. Look, he's proven himself. I just don't get it. I just take the damn numbers and I just here. I'm going to walk you through it real quick. Let's go in the Big 12 here. My favorite conference this year is the Big 12. Yeah, we're just going to take two teams at random. You know what? Let's go to the 10 because every team in the Big 12 is good. I need a mixture of good and bad. So here we go. Perfect. Joe's, they're 9-18, but more importantly to me, they've scored 1,854 points on the year and allowed 1,900. Okay, they played 27 games. St. Louis has scored more than they allowed. Okay, and they played 28 games. So what we do, this box right here, we divide points against, we divide it by points for, we divide that, and then if you've scored more points than you've allowed, this number is going to be below 1.0. Clearly, you can see that St. Louis is in that situation. St. Joseph's has allowed more than they scored. Now they're above 1.0. And why is this important? Well, we take the strength of schedule. We take every team's. Okay, perfect. Watch this right here. I'm going to give St. Joe's a 100-point victory. And I want you to see what happens to this number right here. Let me make it a real game. Okay, you see how it's starting to adjust, and this is starting to adjust, and now we're above. Now we're under 1.0 because we've scored more than we allowed. So we suddenly made St. Joseph's 10.7, and you can see over the St. Louis field where St. Joseph's is, it's been adjusted to 10.7, exactly what it says here. Okay, and now what's weird is. And this doesn't happen on Excel, but it does happen on Google Docs. I don't get it to line up straight. If I refresh, I wonder what happens. Got to shake it a little bit, I think. I hope I didn't just do something bad. Let's let it. What are we looking at here? Okay, yeah. Here, folks. Go back down to St. Louis and St. Joseph's. Yeah, okay, there. So now it agrees 10.27 and 10.27. Okay. So this is really meaning rating. So what we do is we take every team's rating. This is called an OPR, the overall power rating. We slide it into the opposing team's strength of schedule column, and then we divide by the number of games played. Okay. And that gets our strength of schedule. So when you multiply this times 10.9, let's take away this 100-point victory. Let's go reset this back to what it should be. And it'll take a moment for everything to recalculate. And we can watch the numbers. So what's happening here is I have the numbers. I have them play like Dayton and St. Joseph's. I just played that game 25 times. Okay. And it hit my iterations. So when I say 25 times, that's the iterations. That's the number of times I'm having to play. And it probably figured it out in like 10 iterations and stopped calculating, which is fine because I got a tremendous amount of data here. And this is why Google Docs is acting so slowly, is because all the data I'm having to process. Every time I put a number in here, every single game gets played 25 times. So you can imagine it's a lot of computing that happens. Okay, so now it's back, and now St. Joseph's has now allowed more than they scored, and we're above 1.0 there. So the number here, 11.41, is the level of competition. Okay, and if you're above 1.0, you have failed to meet the level of competition. Okay. And this tells you by how much. So we take 1.02, we multiply it by 11.41, and we get this 11.68. That's the rating, okay? Conversely, over here, since we're below 1.0 and we've met and exceeded the level of competition, we're going to take that 0.9 and multiply it by 11.48, and that number will be below this number, okay? Because we met and exceeded the level of competition. And this determines by how much. So that's how I do it. I mean, and then we communicate every game. Every team is connected because I come over here and I just grab this overall power rating and I just hit the button and boom, get out of here with this. And there it is. It'll show up. Okay. 11.7, 11.72. If I refresh, it will be good again. But I'm just going to delete it for now. And these things will recalculate. Every time I do anything, it replays every single game 25 times. It's just amazing. And so that's why I think the accuracy for ScoreZard comes into play is, we just drill this thing down to just the nub. And this is not the point of what we're doing. This is just me trying to make a splash. This is what we do, the ratings and the rankings. This is what I hang my hat on. And I'll show you. This is, we're starting to lose some teams. Some teams have been eliminated. And when they do, we are going to shade them out. And we're still scrolling. They're pretty far down here. Okay, these are the worst of the worst of the worst. Okay, so these seasons have ended and we're shading them out. And soon, all of this is going to be shaded out on the bottom 2/3, and only the top third will be remaining, which is sort of the kind of the acid test for the computer. These were the better teams and they're still alive, and that kind of proves that they're the better teams. They're all going to be up here. We'll have one or two up here that'll be, lights out because they'll get upset. It'll happen. So that's what ScoreZard is all about. Is that this is just for fun. We're terrible at it, as you can see. We suck at picking these games. Now it's going to get better over here, and we're off to a hell of a good start. But here we'll be better here because we're eliminating home court advantage, which I'm not factoring in. And you know what? Just one springs to mind here. Something else won't happen anymore. Here is, okay, who's a better team, Ohio State or Maryland? Okay, well, in this case, where's Maryland? 10.62. The lower the number, the better the team. Who's a better team? Well, Ohio State's a better team. Oh, but they were at Maryland. So Ohio State went up there and just decided to lay an egg. We're not going to have any more of this garbage. Okay, no more of this garbage, even though Penn's at home. You see it almost every night. Illinois at Purdue said, nah, we're not going to play hard. And you eliminate that because you don't got that anymore. It's win or go home. Okay, no more douchebagging it on the road. And so we lose home court advantage and we lose that crap. And so I'm liking it because it's going to boil down to the numbers here. Who's got the better rating? And this is where we step up right here in the postseason. So we're off to a great start. You couldn't ask for a better start. We said 1 point victory. It was a 1 point victory. It was the underdog, according to Vegas, and the road team. And it all played out perfectly, just as we suggested it would. So you couldn't ask for a better kickoff to the postseason than this. So pretty excited about it. Okay, folks. Let's go check on those late games and see where we're at. Hey, share this tab instead. And I went to tomorrow's games. So let's go back to tonight's games. Let's see if there's a final here. 39 seconds. Okay, so Washington State and Oregon State are in overtime. Let's get UCLA's final 77-66. 77-66, 11-point victory. So it's a win and a cover for the old whiz bang. And we were sitting at 2-1 right now with one game left to go. And what do you folks think? Can you stay with me another but what if there's a timeout? Another 23 seconds? Why? It's a 6-point game. The line we got to get over is 7.5. Well, I'm going to be staying put. You're welcome to. You don't have to. You're certainly welcome to just sign off and move on. But I'll broadcast through this just to get it official, on the record, live on the air. 12 seconds now, and I will actually switch over to ESPN. They are more timely and accurate. And it's interesting because they have, end of vote. See, they're better. ESPN is just better. But they've changed their format. And I think it's because not just because I was bitching about it, but it was horrible. The way look at that 8-point win, 7.5 is the line. End of OT. That does not say final. And look, they're still monkeying around with the scores. 103-97, 6 points. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That just happened right before our eyes. They snatched that win away from us. But anyways, ESPN has changed their format because it would just get so bogged down. And now it's gone. What's going on here? Let's go find that. I'm going to try to get away with something here. Now it's back to, okay, now it's 6. Final. Damn it. 103-97. Damn it. Man, I had it in the palm of my hand. I had 8. Damn. All right. We go 2-2. And you see how I'm not going to share this, but CBS still has this game in action, and ESPN it's a final over there. It's just ridiculous. I guess I need to reshare this. Okay, so we made this a final, and we lost because of that line there. So we went on the evening. We went 11-8, had the one money line. And since you're here, I haven't done this yet. So these are going to change. So 58% on the evening on regular season games. So I didn't record that one postseason game over on this. Oh yes, I did. I got to back that out. Yeah, I shouldn't be double dipping. So just so we're clear what I'm talking about. We counted this on this string, three wins and 2 losses. I need a down count. I need to go down count this by 1. Not that, this. Make that 10-8. A little different story. The 55.56, and this is up to date. 1,193 victories, 1,179 defeats, 165 J7 through J. Let's make that 54. 166 money lines. Okay, that's it now. Now I'm done. Thanks for joining me, folks. Hope you had a nice visit, and we will see you tomorrow. And we'll see how these games from the predictions played out. All right, take care. We'll see you.